Mailbag segment. Lisa, I'm excited to answer questions. Are you excited to answer questions?
I am so excited. Guys, keep leaving questions for us about anything and everything. We've gotten some really good ones, and it's fun to go through them and kind of see what fans and listeners are questioning in the league, in soccer, in formations, and players. And Sandra, we have some really good questions today. I'm excited to go through these.
I'm excited to go through them too. I love that everyone has been so receptive to the show. I love that they have felt motivated to go to Apple Podcast. And I love that they enjoy us enough to where they're like, you know what? We'll leave you a 5-star review. That means you're liking what we're doing. So I appreciate that. So they're leaving us the 5-star review. They're leaving us a question. And it's allowed us to have this mailbag segment on the show. So we've got 2 really good questions that we want to take a little bit of a dive into. I know last mailbag segment, I believe we had 3. We're taking 2 this time because of the questions that we chose. So we felt like we were going to take a little bit of a deeper dive in, and they had a little bit more fun components for us to sort of try to play off of one another. So let's start with this first one. I know we were really excited to get to this one from P. I'd love to know what team of 10 current NWSL players each would field if they could only use 5 rookies, parentheses 2 or less seasons, and 5 veterans, 4 seasons or more of the league, and no Olympic players. So Lisa, let's break this down a little bit.
Well, first of all, this is a great question, and P clearly thought a lot about this, and I love this. I'm going to add a caveat because why are we leaving the goalkeepers out? Can we field 11? Can we field 11? And there's so many great goalkeepers. We're gonna throw in a goalkeeper in there for you.
Shout out to B. I'm pretty sure they want to have an 11th player, and I think a goalkeeper is important. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe P is thinking of some good chaotic energy. I'd love to see it. But I also love the no Olympic players.
I know. Great job.
Because that's very specific. Because it's not just like, hey, no USA players. It's no Olympic players. So, I mean, I think we have to include not just the US players. I think we got to talk, like, we're looking at like Canadian players. We're looking at our Brazilian players that are in the league. Like, that's a lot of talent, man. that we're gonna be like not able to choose from. Some of the New Zealand players that we've got.
That was my initial reaction. Oh my gosh, there's so much talent we can't choose from, but there is still so a ton of players talent in this league that I think aren't at the Olympics or aren't playing on international squads that we get to pick from. I love this question.
Wasn't it like 40-something players that the league said that they were like so proud to have in the Olympics? And I'm like, gosh, that's a lot of players to choose from. But I think we can get it.
Let's start in the back.
I also do like that P talked about the rookies and talked about 2 seasons or less, because for us, Lisa, I think that's important because we're talking we chatted a little bit about this 21 season in regards to the announcement of the championship final and how difficult things are with the pandemic. But I love that it's being presented in 2 seasons or less, because the truth of the matter is that there's a whole draft class of 2020 that are in their first regular season. So while in 2020, the coronavirus pandemic absolutely rocked some things and there was only Challenge Cup and Fall Series, they still got NWSL competitive fixtures under their belts. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about players like Morgan Weaver, Sophia Smith. You know, we're talking about players even this year in Trinity Rodman, Brianna Pinto, Emily Fox. We're talking about players like Ashley Sanchez in the 2020 draft class. I mean, this is their first NWSL regular season. So I'm very excited about this part. We're going defenders.
Oh, no, we have to start with goalkeepers. I'm telling you, we're throwing goalkeepers in there.
Well, give me yours.
Okay, so
or you want to do
Harris. Can we do former Olympians? Like, can we throw in
look,
Ashlyn Harris?
Facts are facts, and the fact of the matter is that Ashlyn Harris was not an Olympian in the Tokyo Games.
I agree. Okay, so I would like to throw Ashlyn Harris into the ring and also Didi Herrera.
As a backup?
Well, I don't know. Those are just my 2 nominees for I think we only get 11. Well, 10.
I think we only get 11. So P only
wants nominating Ashlyn Harris and Didi Herrera. Ashlyn Harris of Orlando Pride, Didi Herrera of Gotham.
I'm going to go with Casey Murphy. And I'll also consider Bledsoe. I'll also consider Robert Bledsoe in that one as well.
Okay, do we have to pick and come up with 11 solid out of those like 4? Do we
Well, I think
narrow
they
it down
wanted
to
us to
pick one?
do one of each. So let's do a super team. We'll do
Okay, we'll
Sandra and
do
Lisa's super team.
that. Okay.
I think these are 4 good ones. Who did you like of my pick?
I like Casey Murphy.
Okay.
Oh, Bledsoe's so good too.
I know.
Very
I'm like,
difficult.
you know, I also like I do really like Ashlyn Harris too, though. I mean, we're talking about a player that just made history with most NWSL saves. Let's go with Ashlyn Harris.
Okay.
Let's go with the star part. She might not have been in the Tokyo game, so we know who she is and what she brings, and we're going Ashlyn Harris as our goalkeeper in this one. All right, now let's get into this back line. Who are we going to choose as our outside backs?
I think Emily Fox needs to be in the running. I
do
like
too.
the way Caprice Didasco plays. I mean, this of course changes based on our formation and the style we're trying
Let's
to
just
play.
do like
But
a regular 4-4-2.
I know we're just going overall here. I was just getting a little too
We're being
analytical.
extra as usual.
So I want to nominate Megan Klingenberg too.
So good.
Sarah Gordon. She could technically be a center back. I like her in there. Sam Staub, but I don't think we can do her. Who do you want to nominate in our back line? We get 4.
Okay. I think that P wants 5 rookies and 5 vets. So let's do one of each. So let's put Emily Fox.
Yes.
On one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's do Didasco on the other.
Okay, I like that.
Now we need some center backs. Oh man.
I like Sarah Gordon. I like her.
Yeah, we need Sarah Gordon to be on this 11 because let me tell you something. I have a Chicago complaint. I will put myself on blast on record. This is a direct complaint from Chicago that Sarah Gordon has basically played in like every single game this year. And for somehow, some way, has not received any type of like player of the week accolades or team of the month accolade, and it has blown my mind.
Wow.
Completely.
Well, this isn't quite sponsored by Budweiser, team of the week, player of the week, or anything, but I think this is a very high honor. Sarah Gordon definitely needs to be on our back line.
So we're putting her in the center back position.
This is Sandra and Lisa super team. We need Sarah Gordon.
So we're gonna have Sarah Gordon at center back. So we're both in agreement on that. Let's see, who do we want to complement?
What about Megan Klingberg?
As center back?
Well, doesn't matter. She's a very good defender.
We can also put her in the midfield. I'm just saying.
I know, but there's so many good midfield players. Okay. So we need another center back.
Do we want to go with another rookie on this one?
Yeah.
Why don't we go?
We have Ashlyn Harris in goal. We could throw another rookie in the back line.
Yeah, why not? We've got we can maybe we could choose like someone else from Orlando. We can maybe go with McLernan or Peterson. Although Peterson's been more.
What about like Sam Staub?
Let's go with Sam Staub.
Yeah,
let's go
I
with
like
Sam
her.
Staub.
Washington Spirit.
Let's have a different player from different teams on all those. So we got different teams represented for the defensive side of things, from goalkeeper all the way to the back 4. I love that.
Well, yeah, there's so many good talent. Okay, moving up the field. We also Estelle Johnson. We could have thrown Sophia Huerta in the back line.
I know. It's so true.
Estelle Johnson.
Should we also do like how we did with the back line for the midfield? Should we do like 2 kind of rookie-esque players and two veterans? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so midfield.
So why don't you give me a rookie and a veteran, and I'll try to give us a rookie and a veteran for midfield.
Okay, what about like Andy Sullivan?
I think she's considered a veteran at this point.
Okay.
When was she drafted? 2018?
What about, I'm trying to think, 2018, I believe
so.
Or 2017.
Yeah, she's a veteran at this point.
Yeah, so that's a veteran. There's a lot of good midfielders. Angela Salem, Allie Long, all veterans, but
it's gonna be tough. I think the midfield is gonna be tough to choose a rookie-esque player and then
Maybe we don't do a rookie. Maybe we throw a few more rookies up top.
You know what? True. Maybe we should go all
This is our
veteran in the midfield.
midfield. This is like ride or die.
Yeah.
Games are won and lost in the
That's
midfield.
right.
We need some veterans in this midfield.
Midfielders make it happen. Okay, so I like where your head's at. I love where your head's at. I'm also gonna say then facts are facts, and Morgan Gautrat did not go to the Tokyo Games, so she is not an Olympian. Morgan Gautrat is in my midfield.
Okay. Are we doing 4 in the midfield? Are we doing?
Yeah, we said we're gonna do a
4-3-3 or a 4-4-2.
I think we're doing a 4. Oh,
let's do 3 in the midfield.
Okay.
Make it harder on ourselves.
All right. So what's our midfield right now?
Just Morgan Gautrat.
Oh, great. Pick one.
Honestly, I really like Denise O'Sullivan.
Not Olympian, she counts. International player, but she didn't go to the Olympics.
International, right? So we get her. Okay, I want her in my midfield. I think actually her playing with Morgan Gautrat could be really fun to watch.
Could be really fun. I need who can we get that's like?
Can we make this happen in real life?
We need an NWSL All-Star game, man. Come on.
Okay, so we need one more.
We need one more. Okay, so we've got North Carolina Courage, Chicago in the midfield. Let me see. Who do we want else? I want someone who could just be like.
We could do like an Allie Long. We could do.
I feel like Morgan Gautrat can be both that connector and that sort of more defensive-minded player.
Okay, so you pick. Who do you want?
I think we need a little bit more of attacking bite in there.
Who do you want?
I think we need to go.
We can't do any Olympian, so
I know. You know, let's go with the. I want a pest. I want a real pest. Let's go with Shea Groom.
Yeah, I like that. Shea Groom. Okay, done. Okay, now we need 3 forwards.
Are we having a young attacking line?
We need 2.
I mean, are we going Rodman and Sanchez? Are we trying to keep that chemistry going?
With who? Then who would be the third? Is Sophia Smith considered a rookie?
Yes.
I like her.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Sanchez,
Smith, and Rodman.
I love that.
I don't know if we were able to make it happen if we had actual 5 and 5, but
to run through in goal, Ashlyn Harris, outside back Emily Fox, center back Sarah Gordon, Sam Staub, outside back Caprice Didasco.
Okay.
Midfield 3, Morgan Gautrat, Shea Groom, and Denise O'Sullivan. And then our front 3, Sophia Smith, Trinity Rodman, and Ashley Sanchez.
So like an R and a V by the ones. I'm trying to see if we actually like follow. I feel like we got more veterans than we do rookies, but I still feel like we have a good.
But that's so hard to do.
I feel like we have a good representation of rookies, though.
Yeah, our whole front line is rookies.
We're putting our faith in a young attacking core. I think that's big of us. I don't think there's a lot of teams.
So technically, we only have 4 rookies.
Okay. Well,
hopefully, we tried.
Hopefully, P, you'll forgive us if you want to suggest a 5th rookie that you would like to slot in any position. I want you to let us know.
Hey,
all right?
Our listeners, drop us your starting 11. 5 rookies, 5 veterans. Give us what you have. Leave us a comment on YouTube. Tweet at us at Attacking Third. Send us your 11. I want to hear.
Right on. I want to hear it too. Final question from Prospect Farms. Thank you so much for the question. They stated, enjoyed listening and learning more. I don't know much about the game, but wonder, why does Racing Louisville seem to struggle to score goals? They seem to have good players who try hard. Lisa?
This is an interesting question. I'm going to say it, but honestly, scoring goals is really hard. If you have not played soccer, but you've watched the game, you understand that every team, every player struggles. And I don't think Racing Louisville is struggling by any means. Just scoring goals is really, really difficult and really hard. And we have to remember that Racing Louisville is a very new team. This is their first season. Yeah. They are still trying to get some chemistry under them. They're still bringing players in to connect all the dots and complete everything. Give them a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's tough. These are professional athletes, and very rarely, if at all, have we heard any of them refer to this as a specific reason or struggle for them this year, but I'm going to be the one to keep bringing it up because I think people keep forgetting about it for some reason. But so many of these players lost a year. 2020 did happen as much as people want to forget it. A handful of games in 2020 is nothing to build on when you're coming into a brand new year that has a ton of games. So we're talking about a Challenge Cup. We're talking about a regular season with consistent games week to week, sometimes multi-game weeks for these players. And then on top of that, there was almost a 2.5 month preseason where they got time together, right? So this is almost like
Which is nothing.
It's nothing, which is almost like there's like a reconnection. There's like you're readjusting almost to being a professional athlete, and having regular games and stuff like that. So for Racing Louisville and specifically,
and not to mention their coach just got terminated.
I was going to say, just for Racing Louisville specifically, there's established teams out there that have had struggles in front of goal. So it's been difficult for established teams to maybe turn some things around and have that active presence in front of goal and producing big score lines. We've only seen a couple really, really big score lines. So we saw them really early on from Portland. We saw one from North Carolina Courage. It took a long time for Old Rain to turn things around and start looking like a pretty lethally offensive team in front of goal. And that is a team that has a ton of star players on their roster at the moment. So when you're looking at a team like Racing Louisville, a very, very young team, a team that has not had a lot of time together, I think it's almost expected to have a tough year in front of goal because you're still trying to establish yourselves as a team, build your team culture, and play cohesive soccer. And now, like Lisa said, on top of that, they are going to navigate the rest of this regular season with an interim head coach. So the struggles might continue. So I think at this point in the season, if you are, a racing fan, I think it's fair. And I actually think it's kind of cool to just maybe take a look at your team and continue to support them. And if you're local and able to go to games, please continue to do that and buy tickets and go and support your local club. But there's nothing wrong with going in and taking a game and maybe keeping an eye on players and looking at the game for future prospects. And
I think that's a very cool thing about Racing Louisville specifically is that they don't have one or two players that they rely on to score all of their goals, which happens at other clubs.
Yeah.
And they don't have that yet, which is nice that it's a shared responsibility amongst the forwards and the midfielders and the defenders to contribute in the attack and score goals. It's a very special thing that they still have open for them right now, that they can have balanced scoring throughout their roster.
Absolutely. 100%. Thank you for the question, Prospects Farms. Appreciate all of them as always. Just want to remind everyone that you can go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review with the question, and we will consider it as part of our mailbag segment to go ahead and answer that. If your question has not yet been answered, I promise you it will be eventually. We like to take them a few at a time so that we could take a little bit of deeper dives for all of you instead of just sort of taking them in and giving a quick hit on them. Okay, so keep them coming. We'll be here for you as long as you keep being here for us. I want to thank you all so much for listening.